God never told you to suffer your way into purpose. Ecclesiastes says, banish anxiety from your heart. Not later, not when life is perfect, now. And if you're someone who's doing everything right, but who's not at peace, this is for you. Hello everyone. For this 16th day of the Bible Advent calendar, I wanted to give you a clear instruction from God to be bold into choosing actually what makes you happy. For a lot of people, that tends to be something utopian or not really reasonable, but if you actually look at the wisdom that God left us in Ecclesiastes chapter 11 verse 10 for you guys in English, it reads, "So then, banish anxiety from your heart and cast off the troubles of your body, for youth and vigor are meaningless." Okay, the passage of youth and vigor being meaningless brings to my attention the fact that there is no such thing as golden years or too late to do something. Because a lot of times, society has a way to make you feel obsolete when you actually see that people who work on themselves, not just people who made a decision. God says it's never too late. Anything that has to do with protecting your peace. Not only nothing is new under the sun, but on top of it, it's what humans are supposed to do with their lives. I'm not saying that you lack discipline, because in Proverbs you could actually see that we need to learn from the ants. They don't wait for people to tell them what to do. They know what to do during summer, so they live well during winter. Being disciplined, working towards your goals, having a structure in your life, that doesn't mean that you need to live in sorrow. And I think a lot of times, because we live in the society that we live in today, people need to gain consciousness. They need to gain back the fact that they actually do have the choice. I'm not saying that we are all equal, because a lot of us have unfair advantages that others will not. And obviously, your situation will differ from others. I'm not talking about the fact that you are completely equal in terms of options compared to your peers, because that's not true. But I do want you guys to be reminded of the fact that choosing what makes you happy is not necessarily a luxury, it's a mindset. And most importantly, the verb that stood out for me was ban, meaning that it is a complete and utter action. It's a definite action that you need to put in. You need to work towards that. It doesn't mean that it will come easy. It's not natural. It's the proof that it's not natural for us to choose what makes us happy. It's literally something that we need to fight for. It's a constant mental cleanse. It's something that you work on. It becomes something you practice on a daily basis. So don't feel bad when things feel like you're still figuring things out. I'm seeing some people at 20 feeling so stressed about the future and getting lost. At 30, they literally wake up. At 40, they have the courage to redirect their lives. 50, they feel like they're genuinely just choosing the life that they're living. No matter what your age is, what really matters is when you actually wake up to the reality. If you want to genuinely be at peace and happy, Ecclesiastes is very clear. That's something that you will fight for. You need to be radical about that. So remember, we are all different, but the choice of making the most of what we have is what is going to help us to cast away our sorrows. Faith doesn't stop at a Bible page. It follows us into real life.
Let's go. Here I come. You can hide.
Love don't love like that. I can't look like that.
Because faith is also about how you take care of yourself. You need to remember that you should always mind your business, drink your water, the physical and the spiritual one, Eat your vegetables, especially the green ones, and never forget to pray. Stay tuned tomorrow for the 17th day of the Bible Advent calendar. This is my routine on how I prepare for church, what I bring, how I tend to organize my space, what I tend to do to meditate before and after the church service, and how I usually use that time effectively so that I can use the mindset and the strength I got spiritually throughout the entire week. Bye guys!